Shalom, y'all. This is Hawood. This right here, let me show y'all this book. This book is called The Fountain of Youth. Of course, they showing you white people on the page, but that's not what really was going on. So this is The Fountain of Youth, St. Augustine, 1513. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to read something to y'all. While I'm reading this to y'all, I'm going to let y'all look at this picture that's illustrated on the page, because I'm going to show you how they were trying. They started whitewashing it. Alright, here we go. This is the Indian village of Saloy. The hunters returning to Saloy were unaware that their land had been claimed in the name of an unknown god. Let me read that again. The hunters returning to Saloy were unaware that their land had been claimed in the name of an unknown God. Who is the God of the Christians? Jesus. And a strange king far to the east across the great ocean. Okay? Heavily burdened with turkey, deer, panther, bear, and other game, they entered the narrow entrance of stockade. Soon there was a busy hum about the great barn like houses. Okay, so let me read something for y'all. This is the Book of Mormon. This is 1 Nephi 13 and 1. I'm going to go through it. And it came to pass that the angel spoke unto me, saying, Look. And I looked, and I beheld many nations and kingdoms. And the angel said unto me, What beholdest thou? And I said, I behold many nations and kingdoms. And he said unto me, These are the nations and kingdoms of the Gentiles. And it came to pass that I saw among the nations of Gentiles the formation of a great church, the formation of a strange God. That's what that is. And the angel said unto me, Behold, the formation of a church, which is most abominable above all other churches. Let me read that again to y'all, because I want y'all to understand something. And I'm going to say it right after I finish it, right after I read this part again. And it came to pass that I saw among the nations of the Gentiles the formation of a great church. And the angel said unto me, Behold, the formation of a church. He didn't say the church. He didn't say the church. He said the formation of a church. See what I'm saying? Which is most abominable above all other churches, which slay the saints of God. Yea, they torture of them, and bind up of them down, and yoke of them with a yoke of iron, and bringeth them down into captivity. This happened in the 1500s, the 1600s, by the Spaniards, the French, and the other land thieves, which were Negro. Those people that came and did that were Negro. The white man did it too, but he did it in the later years, and not as bad as it was from the Edomites. Okay, number one. The angel is telling him all churches are evil. Not just that church. He's saying all of them. All of them are wicked. Not just that one. He's telling you this one is worse than all of them. That's what he's telling you. Yeah, okay. So let's keep going. And it came to pass that I beheld the great and abominable church, and I saw the devil, that he was the founder of it. What did he just say? I saw the devil, and he was the founder of it. What did they come here with? A strange new God. Who is their God? Jesus, the devil. Okay. And I also saw gold, silver, silk, scarlets, and fine twined linen, and all manner of precious clothing. And I saw many harlots. And the angel spoke unto me, saying, Behold, the gold, the silver, the silk, the scarlets, and the fine twined linen, and all the precious clothing and harlots are the desires of the abominable church, of the great and abominable, of this great and abominable church. I'm sorry. So this is a big one. And also the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of God and bring them into captivity. And it came to pass that I beheld many waters, and they divided the Gentiles from the seed of my brethren. And it came to pass that the angel said unto me, Behold, the wrath of God is upon the seed of thy brethren. And I looked, and behold, a man among the Gentiles, who was separate from the seed of my brethren by the many waters. And I beheld the Spirit of God came down and wrought upon the man, and he went forth upon the many waters, even unto the seed of my brethren. So he ain't just come here, he went other places. It says he went forth upon the many waters, even unto the seed of my brother. So he went a couple places where who were in the land promised. Okay, let me say this again. The hunters returning to Siloam were unaware that their land had been claimed in the name of an unknown God and a strange king far to the east across the great oceans. Precept, you got Nephi, you got history. You got Nephi, you got history. This is what Judah's talking about, and the other brothers, Levi and everyone else. I got more. Hold on. So if you look here, the Indians all of a sudden are turning white or Chinese or whoever the hell they are now. But you notice they're not the same. Oh yeah. This is a graveyard. Look at the bodies. But they're telling you this was a sacred ancient burial ground. Does this look like this is sacred? Let me see if I can turn my light on. Does this look sacred to y'all? Bones on top of bones. People on top of people. This looks sacred, right? Look how these bodies are. But they talking about uncovering a sacred burial ground. Look at this. Now, let's read this. Section of an Indian burial ground of Siloam showing skeletons centuries old discovered accidentally while setting out orange trees April 13, 1934 at the Fountain of Youth. Archaeologists have uncovered and left them as they were found. Okay, quick question. I got a question for y'all. If this was the white man, how they don't know this was here? Why is the white man digging up stuff If they came and conquered all this stuff and killed all these people, why they don't know? Nothing. They just looking for everything. I need to think about that because they're not the ones that came here first. The people that did most of this stuff were melanated. And then you had, we went through captivity about, I think about 3, 4 different nations. And they are the last nation, the heathen nation. Hold on. The natives are turning white. Look, I let that rest on that page so y'all could see that the first one was melanated. And look at them now. Butt naked. Yeah, you see this? Alright, I'm going to read something more for y'all. When Philip II learned that an expedition of French Huguenots had come to the mouth of the great river in Florida, near the route of his treasure fleet, and that the second expedition was preparing to colonize the vacancy, he protests to the King of France. But I thought the Spaniards had control. You see? You see what I'm saying? You see, this is different kingdoms now. Philip claimed all of North America as his by the allotment of who? The Pope. The strange God and strange king. Yeah. And he especially feared an establishment of the French Huguenots, I'm sorry, in his province of Florida, because they had led all Europeans in daring seizures of Spanish ships. Do you see this? They are fighting over the land. And as they take the land, we go under another captivity. So you got the Spaniards first, then you got the Europeans, then you got the French, then you got who this guy? What was it? I can't even remember the thing going. Dang, where's that French? Whoever, whatever. Yeah, I think it's Britain or something like that. But you see what I'm saying? Seizures of the Spanish ships. Philip protested in vain, for the Huguenots, under the command of Laudonnière, set sail with his royal consent. Early in the summer of 1564, they entered into the Matanzas River. The Indians of the village of Saloy ran out on the wooded point to watch the little fleet cross the bar. For the first time, they listened to the creak of ropes and slap of sails and clinking of anchors. On the oaths of sailors, they heard for the first time the name of the God of these strange bearded men. Need I say something else? Because if you look at the description of the white men, they were shaven. These men were bearded. And who had beards, y'all? Who? They are here saying that we are right now. Aren't they trying to tell us that we are the oh God, my brain is just fried. What are the seafaring people, the sailors, oh God, the Moors. The Moors were bearded men. Couldn't really tell us apart. See that? The chief of Salor, for he bore the name of his village, was carried to the river bank in a litter on the bank of 4 strong bearers. He wore a feathered mantle. We are the people of the feather, yes. A feathered mantle over his shoulders, but no other garment, whatever, except a breech clot of dyed deerskin. That's all that the climate demanded. For ornaments, where am I at? For ornament, his body was covered with an elaborate design of tattooing. His ears held inflated fish bladders. Metal shell ornaments hung from. So this is a picture of one of the bodies that I showed y'all that they, said it was an Indian burial ground. Do this person look like he died good? Do he look like he laid in his bed and died of natural causes? Nah, and the only thing they can say about this is what? Skull of Indian in Saloy burial ground showing well-preserved teeth. But do this man look like he died peacefully? When you die peacefully, your mouth is closed. Not open like you like, ah. Do this person look like they died peacefully? Or it look like they got messed up? Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Let me read this to y'all. The chieftain Saloy was very angry. His restless eyes reached clearing. Deep in his chest, guttural sounds of a wordless fury were uttered. He made gestures of rage. A horrid yell escaped his lips, and his men rattled their weapons and struck their thighs as they too shouted. Then they were silent. Holding a wooden platter of water, the chieftain Saloy turned toward the sun in worship. Liar! He prayed for victory, asking that the blood of his enemy should be poured out as water, which he would now scatter onto the ground. We know he didn't turn towards the sun. They just saying that. He probably turned in the direction of Jerusalem and prayed. And, the sun is coming up in, what is that, the east, I think, or the west, something like that. They'll try to tell you that that's what we were doing. Even if, even like when I read the story with the little people, how the little Indian girl, her family would get up, and at the crack of dawn when the sun rose, they gave thanks to the Great Spirit for bringing the sun out, like, for another day. And I guarantee you this is the same thing they've been doing. We're doing, because there's a story in there talking about them doing a ceremony, for the sun, like doing a ceremony when the sun rises, but they're talking about the worship of the sun, but they're praising, the Great Spirit for what? Another day. You got to understand, these people are sick. They don't know what the hell we doing. They just going to lie and try to make any type of propaganda saying that we're worshiping idols and everything else, when in fact they're the idol worshippers. You know what I mean? All right. Well, okay. So he lifted the vessel of sacred water and poured it on the fire above the hissing embers. I think I skipped the whole part. Yeah, I did. So Lord turned towards the sun. He prayed in victory, asking that the blood of his enemy should be poured out as the water, which he would now scatter to the ground. He hurled the water into the air, and as it fell on his men, he said, "As I have done with this water, so I pray that you do with the blood of my enemies." You can tell. Look, just listen to what he's saying. You can tell he's a child of the Most High. All right. He lifted up the other vessels of the sacred water and poured it on the fire. Above hissing embers, his voice could be heard chanting, "So may you be able to extinguish your enemies and bring back their scalps. The ceremony concluded. The men of Salord prepared to make war on the Spaniards. As a formal declaration, arrows with the hair and the notches, arrows and the notches were set along the trails.